In the beginning, there was silence. Before words, before thought, before form, there was the stillness in which all things were created. This is not the silence of absence, but the silence of the deepest knowing, the space from which all that is, comes. You, seeker of truth, are called to step away from the world's din. You are called to enter the sanctum of your own heart, where the law of silent abundance whispers to you. It is here, in this sacred silence, that prosperity is birthed, not from the hands that grasp, but from the quiet that listens. In this moment, close your eyes and allow the world to fall away. Let the noise of the outside fade into the distance. There is nothing for you to chase, nothing for you to seek. All that you need is already within you, waiting in the stillness of your own being. Feel the air, not as something to breathe, but as something to listen to. The wind carries no words, yet it speaks in a language older than time. The earth beneath you hums a song that only those who know silence can hear. The stars above, though far beyond your reach, flicker with the same silent wisdom. All around you, there is only one truth. The universe speaks in silence, and it is to this silence that you must attune. As you sit in stillness, surrender your thoughts, surrender your need for answers. Trust that the silence you enter is the womb of all manifestation. Breathe deeply, and as you do, let go of your fears and doubts. Let go of the notion that anything is missing, for in this silence, all is complete. You are invited now to journey deeper, to open the gates of this inner temple, where the law of silent abundance waits patiently for you to discover it. Trust that all is unfolding as it should, in perfect divine order. And as you listen with the heart, may the abundance of the universe flow into you not through the world, but through the silent frequency that lives within. Let the silence speak to you. May it guide you. May it transform you. Chapter 1. The Invisible Frequency. In the beginning, the universe did not speak. It did not shout, nor did it beg for attention. Its voice was not heard by the ears, but felt by the soul. This is the nature of the invisible frequency, a silent force that shapes the world without ever needing to make a sound. It is not something you will find in the noise of the marketplace, nor in the clamor of ambition. It is not for the seekers who shout for abundance. It is for those who listen in stillness, who attune themselves to the quiet hum that flows beneath all things. You are called to this silent frequency now, not by force, but by invitation. It is a call from the deepest part of yourself, where your soul knows the truth. Abundance is not something you obtain, it is something you align with. Prosperity is not outside of you, but within, and it is this invisible force, this frequency, that governs it. The world may tell you that wealth, success, and happiness are things you must chase, but this is a lie. The chase itself distances you from the very thing you seek. It is not in the frantic pursuit that abundance is found, but in the quiet attunement to the unseen frequency that governs all creation. When you seek to manifest your desires, do not look outward. Instead, close your eyes and listen to the silence within. You will hear the frequency, not as a sound, but as a vibration that aligns with your deepest truths. It is a hum, subtle yet powerful, that carries the potential to bring everything you desire into being. It is in this space that the law of silent abundance operates. And it is from this space that you will learn to draw the abundance of the universe into your life. The silent frequency is not a product of thought or effort. It is a result of being. When you align with it, you do not exert force or manipulate the world around you. Instead, you allow yourself to be drawn into its current, just as a leaf is carried by a stream. The more you resist, the farther you are from the flow. The more you allow, the closer you come to the abundant life you seek. Consider the stillness of the night sky. In the vast expanse, there is no sound, no movement, yet within it are infinite stars. Each one shines with its own light, a beacon of its own existence. And though you may not hear them, their light reaches you, and you are nourished by it. So it is with the silent frequency. It is not loud. It does not make itself known in the way that the world does. But it is there, always present, always available to those who are willing to listen. The question then is not how to obtain abundance, but how to tune yourself to this frequency. How do you move beyond the distractions, the chaos, and the noise of the world, to align with the silent hum of prosperity? The answer lies not in your external circumstances, but in the state of your internal being. To hear the invisible frequency, you must first quiet the mind. The mind is a noisy thing, full of desires, judgments, and distractions. It is the voice of the world, always pulling you outward, always urging you to seek more. But in order to align with the silent frequency, you must learn to silence the mind, to still the constant chatter that fills your thoughts. This is not an easy task. The mind will resist. It will try to pull you back into the noise of the world. But you must remember that the frequency of abundance does not respond to effort or force. It responds to presence and stillness. In the quiet of your mind, the world becomes clear, and the path to prosperity becomes apparent. The practice of stilling the mind is not one of suppression, but of observation. You do not fight your thoughts. You simply observe them, allowing them to pass through without attachment. The more you practice this, the more you begin to hear the frequency of abundance beneath the noise. It is a subtle shift, a change in awareness, but it is enough to begin the process of alignment. There is a subtle art to attuning yourself to this frequency, an art that requires patience, discipline, and faith. Just as a musician tunes their instrument before playing, you must tune yourself to the frequency of abundance. This is done through regular practice, through moments of stillness, through an unwavering commitment to the inner silence. The first step is to embrace the stillness. Create space in your life for silence. Begin with moments, brief yet sacred, where you can sit in quietude and simply listen. Let go of the desire to control, to achieve, to force. In these moments, allow yourself to be nothing but a vessel, an open channel for the frequency to flow through. This is where the power lies, not in what you do, but in who you become in the silence. Consider the silent architect, who built great structures not with stone and mortar, but with vision. He did not seek the approval of the world, nor did he labor in the noise of construction. Instead, he spent his days in stillness, allowing the design to come to him. Each brick was placed with intention. Each structure rose from the quietude of his mind. And though the world saw the magnificence of his work, they did not see the silence from which it came. In the same way, your desires can be manifested from the same silent space. You do not need to chase them. You do not need to strive or struggle. You only need to align yourself with the frequency that brings them to you. The law of silent abundance operates not through effort, but through surrender. It is not about working harder, but about working smarter. The smarter work is to work within, to change the inner state, and let the outer world follow. The practice of aligning with this invisible frequency can be as simple as listening. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Imagine yourself becoming a tuning fork, vibrating in harmony with the frequency of abundance. Feel the subtle hum beneath your chest, beneath your thoughts. As you breathe, feel this hum growing stronger, expanding until it fills every cell in your body. You are no longer separate from the abundance you seek. You are it. You are vibrating at the same frequency. And in that moment, all things are possible. But the practice does not end with a single moment. It is a continual process of alignment. It is a practice that must be carried through each day, woven into every action, every thought. To live in alignment with the silent frequency is to make it a part of who you are, to let it flow through every aspect of your life. This frequency is not reserved for a select few. It is available to all who are willing to listen, to all who are ready to attune themselves to the deeper rhythms of existence. It is not a gift that is given to the worthy, but a truth that is revealed to the open-hearted. The more you listen, the clearer it becomes, and the more you align, the more you experience its abundance. The universe does not operate through force, nor does it reward the loudest or most ambitious. It responds to those who are in harmony with its silent song. This is the secret of prosperity. It is not something you strive to attain, but something you allow yourself to be in tune with. In the end, the journey is not about acquiring, but about being. The silent frequency exists in all things, and as you align with it, you will find that everything you need is already within you. Abundance is not outside of you, waiting to be grasped. It is inside of you, waiting to be acknowledged. And so, as you listen, as you tune yourself to the invisible frequency, Know this: you are not reaching for abundance. You are simply remembering it. You are awakening to the truth that prosperity is a natural state of being, one that exists within you, now and always. The journey to silent abundance begins with the first step of listening. And in this silence, all things are possible. Chapter 2. Mirror Alchemy. The world you see before you is not as it seems. It is a reflection, a mere shadow of the deeper, unseen reality within. This is the essence of mirror alchemy, and understanding that what you perceive outside is a direct reflection of what resides within. To transform the world around you, you must first turn inward, for the external is but a mirror of the internal. Your life, your experiences, your relationships, and your circumstances are not random or arbitrary. They are shaped by your inner world, by the thoughts, beliefs, and emotions you hold. The law of silent abundance operates on this principle, that the state of your inner being is the key to unlocking the abundance of the universe. If your mind is filled with scarcity, doubt, and fear, you will see scarcity, doubt, and fear reflected in your world. But if your inner world is filled with peace, trust, and abundance, then that is what the world will reflect back to you. This is not a law of magic, but a law of alignment. The energy you carry within you is the energy you send into the world, and it is this energy that creates your reality. To understand mirror alchemy is to understand the profound power of perception. The way you see the world is not a passive experience. It is an active creation. You are not merely a spectator in your life. You are the creator, the architect of your own reality. The world responds to you, and the reflection you see is the result of the energy you project. The more you master your inner state, the more you master the reflection of your life. This is where the practice of mirror alchemy begins, by recognizing that you are the source of everything you see. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you hold, sends out ripples into the world, shaping your experiences. If you wish to change your life, you must first change your mind. For the mind is the mirror through which all things are reflected. Consider the silent architect who, upon entering a new land, did not build structures with physical materials, but with the vision of his mind. His creations were not the result of forceful action, but of an inner knowing that the world would take form according to his thoughts. The material stone, wood, metal were mere reflections of his inner design. He did not manipulate the world to fit his vision. He allowed his vision to shape the world. So too, your reality is shaped by the architecture of your thoughts and beliefs. The world responds to the designs of your mind, and it is this silent act of creation that governs all manifestation. Mirror alchemy teaches that everything you see around you, every situation, every person, is a reflection of your inner state. You are not a victim of circumstance, nor are you powerless in the face of the world's chaos. You are the creator of your reality, and the world mirrors back to you the energy you hold within. The more you understand this, the more you realize the power you have to transform your life, not by changing the world, but by changing yourself. This understanding leads to the practice of self-observation. In order to see the reflection clearly, you must first observe the mirror. When you look into the mirror, you do not see the mirror itself, you see the reflection of what stands before it. In the same way, when you look into your life, you do not see the world itself. You see the reflection of your inner world. Your relationships, your circumstances, your experiences are all mirrors of your thoughts, your feelings, and your beliefs. To transform your life, you must first become the observer of your own mind. This is the essence of mirror alchemy. To observe, without judgment, the thoughts and beliefs that shape your reality. You must look at your life as if you were looking into a mirror, asking yourself, what does this reflect about me? What does this reveal about my inner world? Each moment, each experience, is an opportunity for self-reflection, a chance to observe the thoughts and beliefs that are shaping your reality. Consider the mirror of the silent king, who, upon entering his kingdom, did not seek to change the world around him, but instead sought to change his own heart. He understood that the true power of a ruler lay not in the manipulation of the kingdom, but in the mastery of his own thoughts and actions. By transforming his own mind, he transformed his kingdom. The people followed, not because he ruled with force, but because his inner state reflected peace and wisdom, and the kingdom mirrored that peace. The practice of mere alchemy requires self-awareness. It requires you to look inward, to examine the thoughts and beliefs that shape your experiences. You must recognize that every thought you think is an energy that is sent into the world, and this energy will return to you as a reflection. If you wish to see abundance, you must first cultivate abundance within. If you wish to see peace, you must first cultivate peace within. The external world is merely a reflection of what is happening within you. This is where the silent practice of mirror alchemy begins. The first step is to become aware of your thoughts and beliefs. Are they thoughts of scarcity, of lack, of fear? Or are they thoughts of abundance, of trust, of possibility? Are your beliefs in alignment with the life you wish to create? Or are they rooted in the limitations of the past? You must observe your inner world without judgment, simply noticing the thoughts and beliefs that arise. As you do this, you begin to understand that these thoughts and beliefs are the seeds from which your reality grows. The next step is to transform the inner state. This is where the alchemy happens. Once you have become aware of the thoughts and beliefs that are limiting you, you can begin to change them. This does not happen through force or struggle, but through the quiet act of transformation. Just as an alchemist transforms base metals into gold, you can transform your limiting beliefs into expansive ones. You do this by simply choosing to believe differently. When a thought of scarcity arises, replace it with a thought of abundance. When a belief of fear arises, replace it with a belief of trust. This is the work of mirror alchemy, transforming your inner world to reflect the reality you wish to see. This practice requires patience and consistency. Just as an alchemist does not expect to turn lead into gold with a single touch, you cannot expect your inner world to change overnight. But with consistent practice, you will begin to notice the shifts. Your thoughts will become more aligned with abundance. Your beliefs will reflect greater trust, and your experiences will begin to mirror these changes. The silent practice of mirror alchemy is not about forcing change. It is about allowing change to happen naturally by aligning yourself with the truth that abundance is your natural state. The more you align with this truth, the more your reality will reflect it. Now, sit quietly for a moment and observe your thoughts. Notice what is present in your mind. What do you see in the mirror of your own mind? Do you see thoughts of scarcity, of fear, of lack? Or do you see thoughts of abundance, of possibility, of trust? Whatever you see, know that it is a reflection of what is happening within you. Now, gently replace the thoughts of scarcity with thoughts of abundance. Replace the thoughts of fear with thoughts of trust. Do this with love and patience, knowing that every thought you change is an act of alchemy. With each shift, you are transforming your inner world, and the world around you will begin to mirror this transformation. The more you practice mirror alchemy, the more you will see the world around you shift. Your relationships will change, your circumstances will align, and your life will begin to reflect the abundance you have cultivated within. This is the power of mirror alchemy, the power to transform your life by transforming your mind. And so, you stand before the mirror of your life. What do you see? What reflection is staring back at you? Know this: the reflection is yours to shape. You are the creator, and the mirror is your creation. Change what you see by changing what you believe. Align your inner world with the frequency of abundance, and the world will reflect that back to you. Mirror alchemy is the art of seeing the world as it truly is, a reflection of the deepest truths within. Through this practice, you will discover that the power to create the life you desire has always been within you. You need only to observe, to transform, and to allow. Chapter 3. The Invisible Act. There are forces at work in the universe that are not seen by the eyes, but felt by the soul. The most powerful of these forces is the invisible act, the silent, unseen creation that precedes all visible manifestations. It is in this act of invisible creation, this subtle alignment with the unseen realms, that the law of silent abundance takes root. In the world of manifestation, it is not the loud, forceful actions that bring results, but the quiet, invisible actions that are carried out with intention and faith. When you seek to manifest your desires, you must understand that the visible world is the final stage in a process that begins in the invisible. The physical world is merely a reflection of the deeper, energetic realms of existence. Your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs are the invisible forces that shape your reality. And it is these forces that must first be aligned before you will see the fruits of your desires in the material world. The invisible act is the act of creation that happens within the silence of your being. It is the moment when you align yourself with the universe's natural flow, setting in motion the forces that will bring your desires into being. This is not an act of force or willpower. It is an act of surrender and trust. It is the understanding that everything you seek already exists in the unseen world, and that it is your role to simply align with it. Consider the story of the silent sculptor who spent his days chiseling away at a block of stone. At first, the stone was rough and formless, but the sculptor knew that within it was a masterpiece waiting to emerge. He did not force the stone to become something it was not. Instead, he allowed the form to reveal itself through gentle, intentional action. With each strike of the chisel, he did not push the stone into shape, but rather released what was already there, waiting to be revealed. The invisible act of creation was not in the force of his hands, but in the quiet surrender of his vision to the stone. So too, your desires exist in the unseen realm, waiting to be brought into form. The invisible act is the act of surrendering to the flow of creation, allowing your desires to take shape naturally, without force. Just as the sculptor did not rush the stone, so too must you trust the process of manifestation. Knowing that your desires are unfolding in divine timing, the mistake many make is in believing that they must take visible action before the invisible act is complete. They become impatient, trying to force the universe to respond before it is ready. This is the opposite of the invisible act. The act of creation begins in the unseen. And only when you are aligned with the invisible forces of the universe does the visible world begin to reflect your desires. The most important aspect of the invisible act is trust. You must trust that the universe is always in motion, always working behind the scenes to bring your desires to fruition. You must trust that the invisible forces of creation are far more powerful than anything you can see or touch. When you act from a place of trust, you stop fighting against the flow of life and begin to move with it. This is the true power of the invisible act. It is an act of allowing, not controlling. An act of faith, not force. The nature of the invisible act is that it requires no outward effort. It is not about doing, but about being. The first step in the invisible act is to become still. In the stillness, you begin to sense the subtle currents of the universe that are always flowing, always guiding. In this quiet space, you begin to align your inner world with the desires of your heart, trusting that what you seek is already on its way to you. This practice requires patience. It is not about rushing or forcing outcomes. It is about allowing them to unfold naturally. Just as the sculptor trusts the stone to reveal its form, so too must you trust the process of manifestation. The invisible act is the process of aligning with the flow of life, surrendering to the unseen forces that are always at work. You must stop trying to control the outcome and simply allow it to happen in its own time. The invisible act is also the act of releasing resistance. Resistance is the force that pushes against the flow of creation, that fights against the natural order of things. When you resist, you block the very forces that could bring your desires to fruition. Resistance takes many forms. It can be doubt, fear, impatience, or the belief that you are not worthy of your desires. These thoughts create a barrier between you and the abundance that is waiting to come into your life. To practice the invisible act, you must release all resistance and align yourself with the natural flow of abundance. This does not mean that you do nothing. It means that you stop forcing, stop struggling, and simply trust the process. You trust that the universe is always working in your favor, that it is always bringing you closer to your desires, even when you cannot see it. In the invisible act, you become a passive participant in the creation process. This does not mean that you are inactive. It means that you are active in the sense that you are aligning your energy with the universe's energy. You are not forcing the universe to deliver your desires. You are aligning with it, allowing it to deliver them in its own time. Consider the story of the silent gardener who planted seeds in the soil. The gardener did not push the seeds to grow. He did not try to control the process. He simply planted the seeds in the right soil, watered them, and allowed them to grow in their own time. The gardener trusted the invisible process of growth, knowing that the seeds, when nurtured, would eventually sprout and flourish. In the same way, you must plant the seeds of your desires in the fertile soil of your inner being, trusting that they will grow in their own time. The invisible act also requires that you align your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs with your desires. If your mind is filled with doubt and fear, you will send out a vibration of scarcity and lack, and that is what will be reflected back to you. If, however, your thoughts are filled with trust and certainty, your vibration will be one of abundance, and the universe will respond in kind. To practice the invisible act, you must cultivate the inner state of abundance. This means that you must think thoughts of abundance, feel emotions of abundance, and believe in the abundance of the universe. When your thoughts and emotions are aligned with your desires, the invisible forces of creation will begin to move in your favor. The more you align with the energy of abundance, the more you will see it reflected in your life. The invisible act is also about letting go of the need for control. The universe operates in its own way, in its own timing, and you cannot force it to deliver your desires on your schedule. The act of surrendering control is a powerful practice. It is the realization that you do not need to force outcomes, but simply trust that they will unfold in the right way at the right time. This act of surrender is not about giving up, but about trusting the process. It is about trusting that the universe knows what is best for you and that everything is unfolding in divine order. When you surrender, you stop fighting against life and allow it to flow through you. The invisible act is the most powerful act you can take on your journey to manifestation. It is the act of surrendering your need for control, aligning with the flow of the universe, and trusting that your desires are already on their way to you. It is the act of releasing resistance and allowing abundance to flow into your life naturally. It is the act of becoming a passive participant in the creative process, trusting that the universe is always working on your behalf. When you practice the invisible act, you begin to realize that manifestation is not something you do, but something you allow. It is not a matter of striving and struggling, but a matter of alignment and trust. The more you align with the invisible forces of creation, the more you will see your desires come to life. As you practice the invisible act, you begin to witness the magic of manifestation unfold in your life. The world around you shifts, your desires begin to take shape, and you realize that all the abundance you seek is already within your reach. The invisible act is the gateway to the law of silent abundance. And it is through this act of surrender and trust that you will unlock the life you have always dreamed of. Chapter 4. The Path of Silent Trust. In the vast expanse of the universe, there exists a force more powerful than the strongest of winds, more constant than the unchanging stars. It is silent trust, the unspoken force that governs the flow of all things. Silent trust is the understanding that the universe, in its infinite wisdom, is always working in your favor. It is the faith that everything you desire is already making its way to you, even though you may not yet see it. It is the surrender to the divine timing of the universe, knowing that your desires will unfold not when you demand them, but when they are meant to. This is a path unlike any other, path not of force or struggle, but of quiet, patient trust. Silent trust is the opposite of fear. It is the absence of doubt, the willingness to let go of control and surrender to the natural flow of life. It is not something you can grasp with your hands or hold tightly to. It is a deep knowing that everything is happening for your highest good, even when it seems otherwise. Consider the silent sailor, whose boat drifted upon the open sea. He did not row with force, nor did he fight against the currents. He simply allowed the wind to guide him, trusting that it would carry him to where he needed to go. No matter how the waves rose or fell, the sailor did not panic. He trusted that the ocean had a purpose for him, and he surrendered to its currents. He did not question the path. He simply trusted it, knowing that it would lead him to the shore when the time was right. So too, must you trust the invisible currents of life. The universe is always guiding you, always steering you toward your highest good, even when it appears to be leading you through difficult waters. Your desires are not a destination, but a journey. And it is the practice of silent trust that allows you to navigate that journey with peace and certainty. Silent trust is not passive. It is an active choice to surrender. It is the recognition that you do not need to struggle, that you do not need to force things to happen. You are not alone in this journey, and when you trust the flow of life, you open yourself to receive all that the universe is offering. The path of silent trust is the path of acceptance, of letting go of the need to control, and of simply allowing life to unfold as it is meant to. In this moment, pause and take a breath. Feel the air, fill your lungs, and in that breath, let go of any doubts or fears you may be holding. Trust that the universe is working on your behalf, that everything you need is already on its way to you. The silent trust that you cultivate today is the key to unlocking the abundance of tomorrow. It is important to understand that trust is not something that happens overnight. It is a practice, a discipline, a way of being. Trust grows in the spaces between your thoughts, in the moments of silence when you surrender your need to control. It is not something you can force, but something you allow. Like a seed planted in the soil, silent trust takes time to grow. You must nurture it with patience and consistency, and with each moment of surrender, the trust grows stronger. The greatest obstacle to silent trust is the mind. The mind is always questioning, always doubting, always looking for certainty. It wants proof, it wants evidence, and it wants to control the outcome. But the path of silent trust requires you to step beyond the mind, to let go of the need for certainty, and to embrace the unknown. It is only when you release the need to know that you allow the universe to step in and guide you. Consider the silent healer who worked with the most fragile of patients. She did not push or force healing upon them. She simply trusted the body's natural ability to heal itself. She understood that healing was not something that could be controlled. It was something that could only be facilitated by creating the conditions for it to occur. The healer did not question the process. She simply trusted it, knowing that in time, the body would heal itself when the time was right. Silent trust is like this. It is the trust that the process of manifestation is already underway, even if you cannot yet see the results. You are not the one who makes things happen. You are the one who allows things to happen. The universe, in all its wisdom, knows exactly how and when to deliver your desires. Trust is not about forcing or rushing. It is about knowing that everything will unfold as it should. The path of silent trust is the path of letting go. Let go of the need to know when, where, or how your desires will manifest. Let go of the urge to control the timing or the outcome. When you release the need for control, you allow the universe to step in and work its magic. Trust is the space in which manifestation takes place. And it is only when you step into that space that you will begin to see the results. To practice silent trust, you must first acknowledge your fears and doubts. These are the obstacles that stand in the way of trust. You must recognize them without judgment, knowing that they are a natural part of the human experience. But you do not need to hold on to them. You do not need to let them control you. Instead, you can choose to let them go. And with each release, you make space for trust to enter. Take a moment to close your eyes and reflect on what you are holding on to. What fears or doubts are keeping you from trusting the process? What are you trying to control that is not yours to control? Now, with each exhale, release these fears. Let them go, knowing that they are not part of the truth of who you are. In this moment, you are free to trust. Trust is not a one-time decision. It is a continual practice. It requires you to choose trust in every moment, even when the circumstances seem uncertain. It requires you to remember that the universe is always working in your favor, even when you cannot see it. It is the understanding that the invisible forces of life are guiding you, and all you must do is trust the journey. The more you practice silent trust, the more you will see its effects in your life. You will begin to notice that things happen more easily, that the path ahead becomes clearer, and that your desires begin to manifest with grace and ease. Trust opens the door to abundance, and with each act of trust, you move closer to the life you desire. But even as trust brings abundance, it also brings peace. The more you trust, the more you release the need for control, the more peace you will experience. Trust is not just about receiving your desires. It is about finding peace in the process, knowing that all is unfolding in divine timing. When you trust, you let go of the burden of trying to control everything, and in that release, you find the freedom to simply be. The silent trust that you cultivate today is the foundation of the abundance that will come tomorrow. Trust is the key to unlocking the flow of life, and when you surrender to that flow, you become a vessel through which all that you desire can manifest. Silent trust is not just a principle, it is a way of life. It is the path to peace, to abundance, and to the realization that you are always being guided toward your highest good. In this moment, trust that everything is already unfolding perfectly. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be, and that everything you desire is already on its way to you. The path of silent trust is the path of surrender, of allowing the universe to guide you, and in that surrender, you will find everything you need. Trust, and all will be revealed. Chapter 5: Divine Timing and Silent Patience. There is an unseen rhythm to the universe, a perfect timing that governs the unfolding of all things. It is the pulse that guides the seasons, the movement of the stars, and the quiet growth of the seed beneath the earth. It is the essence of divine timing, a force that operates beyond the reach of human control, yet is always working in your favor. This force is not bound by human clocks or calendars, for it flows according to the laws of the unseen world, moving at a pace that is perfect for all things. To walk the path of silent abundance is to trust in this divine rhythm, to surrender to the flow of time, knowing that everything comes to you at the moment it is meant to. Divine timing is not something you can rush, nor is it something you can force. It is the understanding that the universe has a plan for you, and that plan unfolds in its own time. The human mind often wants to speed things up, to make things happen according to its own desires and schedules. But the wisdom of divine timing lies in the acceptance that all things have their appointed moment. This is not a passive surrender, but a quiet, trusting alignment with the greater flow of life. Consider the silent gardener who plants seeds in the soil. He does not rush the plants to grow, nor does he demand that they bear fruit before their time. Instead, he tends to the earth, nurtures the seeds, and trusts that in their own time they will sprout, grow, and bear fruit. The gardener does not try to control the seasons, for he knows that the cycles of nature cannot be hurried. So too must you trust that your desires, like seeds in the earth, will unfold according to the natural rhythm of the universe. Divine timing is the practice of surrendering to the perfect rhythm of life. It is the understanding that everything happens at the right time, in the right way, and that the universe is always working to bring you exactly what you need, even when it does not seem that way. In the moment of uncertainty, when the world appears to stand still, it is the quiet trust in divine timing that allows you to remain at peace. When you act with silent patience, you align yourself with this divine rhythm. Silent patience is not passive waiting. It is the quiet, peaceful understanding that the timing of your life is not something you control. It is the knowing that the universe is always working behind the scenes to bring about your desires, and that your role is to trust in the process. Imagine the silent pilgrim who walks along an arduous journey toward a distant destination. The pilgrim does not rush the path, for he knows that every step is part of the journey. He understands that the journey itself holds wisdom, and that reaching the destination is not as important as the lessons learned along the way. The pilgrim moves forward with patience, trusting that each step is bringing him closer to his goal, even though he cannot yet see it. In the same way, you are walking a path toward your desires. There may be times when you feel that you are not moving fast enough, that your desires are taking too long to materialize. But in those moments, you must remember the lesson of silent patience, that the path itself is as important as the destination. Trust that every step is part of the unfolding process, and that in time, you will arrive at the perfect moment. Divine timing often teaches us the importance of surrendering to the unknown. The human mind craves certainty and control. It wants to know the outcome, to have a clear map of the future. But the wisdom of divine timing is that the future is not for you to control. It is for you to experience. You do not need to know every step in advance. The universe will reveal the next step when the time is right. Consider the story of the silent weaver who wove intricate patterns into a tapestry. Each thread was carefully placed, But the weaver did not see the full design until the tapestry was complete. She trusted that each stitch would come together to create something beautiful, even though she could not see the end result at the time. The weaver did not try to control the process, but instead allowed the pattern to emerge naturally, one thread at a time. In the same way, divine timing works in your life. You do not need to see the full picture before you begin. Trust that each moment, each step, is contributing to the greater design. One of the most challenging aspects of silent patience is learning to trust when the external world does not reflect your desires. You may feel that you have been waiting too long, that the universe is not listening, or that your desires will never come to fruition. In these moments of doubt, it is the practice of divine timing that allows you to maintain faith. You must remember that the universe operates on its own schedule, and that your desires are always in the process of becoming. You are not being denied. You are simply being prepared for what is to come. Think of the silent teacher who waits patiently for his students to grasp the lessons he is imparting. The teacher does not rush the students. He does not force them to learn at his pace. He understands that each student learns in their own time, and that true understanding comes when the student is ready. In the same way, the universe does not rush you. It prepares you for what is to come. Your desires are not being withheld from you. They are being prepared for you. You are being prepared for them. Silent patience is the act of trusting in the unseen forces of the universe, knowing that everything is happening according to a greater plan. When you are patient, you are aligning yourself with the natural rhythm of life. You are trusting that what you desire will come to you in the perfect moment, and that you do not need to force or hurry the process. This trust in divine timing allows you to live with peace and ease, even in times of uncertainty. It teaches you to let go of the need to control, to stop grasping for the future, and to focus on the present moment. The present is where the power lies. It is in the present moment that you can take the next step, knowing that it is part of the divine plan. To cultivate silent patience, take time each day to reflect on the natural rhythms of life. Observe how the seasons change without force, how the trees grow without haste. Nature moves according to its own timing, and so too does your life. Trust in the cycles of life, knowing that each cycle has its purpose. Just as the earth goes through seasons of rest and growth, so too do you go through seasons of waiting and receiving. Take a moment now to reflect on the desires that have not yet manifested. Do you feel impatient, or do you trust in their divine timing? Do you trust that everything is unfolding as it should, even if you cannot yet see it? In this moment, surrender your need for control and embrace the wisdom of silent patience. Know that everything you desire is already on its way to you, and that it will arrive at the perfect time. Divine timing is the practice of letting go of the need to know, the need to control, and the need to rush. It is the understanding that the universe operates in its own time, and that you are always in the right place at the right moment. Trust that the unfolding of your desires is not something you must force. It is something you must allow. And when the time comes, you will be ready to receive them. In this moment, breathe deeply and trust that all is unfolding perfectly. Your desires are being prepared for you, and the universe is working on your behalf. Trust in divine timing, trust in silent patience, and know that all will come to you in the perfect moment. Chapter 6. Becoming the Manifestation. To manifest your deepest desires, you must first understand that you are not separate from the world you wish to create. You are the creator, the vessel, and the embodiment of the very reality you seek. Becoming the manifestation is the process of stepping into the life you desire, not as a distant goal, but as a present reality. This is not about acquiring something outside yourself, but about embodying the energy of your desires, aligning with them in a way that makes them inevitable. The law of silent abundance is rooted in the understanding that you do not manifest what you wish for, but rather, you manifest who you are. The energy you hold within is the energy you send out, and the life that is reflected back to you is a direct result of the internal state you cultivate. Abundance does not come from external conditions. It comes from your inner being. The first step to becoming the manifestation is realizing that everything you seek is already within you. The path to your desires is not a journey outward, but a journey inward, to the truth of who you are. Consider the silent artist. who did not paint on a canvas, but painted with his life. He did not wait for the world to change before he expressed himself. He embodied the masterpiece he wished to create. His life was the work of art, and each action, each thought, each word was a brushstroke in the creation of his reality. He did not wait for permission or for external circumstances to change. He became the manifestation of his desires by simply living as though they were already true. So too must you live as though your desires are already a part of you. To manifest, you must embody the energy of your desires. The energy of abundance is already present within you, and when you align with it, you begin to see the reflection of that energy in the world around you. The key to manifestation is not wishing for something outside of yourself, but becoming the very thing you desire to manifest. It is not an act of striving. It is an act of alignment. The first step in becoming the manifestation is to clear your inner space. The mind is often cluttered with thoughts of doubt, fear, and limitation. These thoughts create blockages in the flow of energy, preventing the manifestation of abundance. To become the manifestation, you must release these limiting thoughts and beliefs, allowing the energy of abundance to flow freely through you. The mind must be clear, like a mirror, to reflect the truth of who you are. When you clear your mental space, you allow the energy of your desires to flow into your life effortlessly. Consider the silent gardener once more. Before planting the seeds, the gardener prepared the soil. He did not plant the seeds in soil that was dense with weeds and stones. He cleared the ground, making it fertile for growth. Similarly, you must clear the inner soil of your mind to make space for the manifestation of your desires. Let go of the doubts, the fears, and the limiting beliefs that prevent your desires from taking root. Make room for the abundance you wish to receive. As you clear the inner space, you begin to embody the energy of your desires. This is where the practice of visualization becomes essential. Visualization is the process of seeing your desires as already true. This is not wishful thinking or daydreaming. It is the act of aligning your energy with the energy of your desires. When you visualize, you are not imagining a future event. You are aligning yourself with the present reality of what you desire. You are becoming the embodiment of the manifestation. The silent alchemist understands that manifestation begins within. The alchemist does not look outward for riches. He looks inward, aligning with the energy of abundance. The riches are already there, inside, waiting to be acknowledged and brought into the material world. The alchemist does not ask for wealth. He becomes wealth, and in doing so, wealth flows to him effortlessly. The same is true for you. You are not waiting for abundance to come to you. You must become abundance in every thought, in every action, and in every breath. To embody your desires, you must also align your emotions with them. Emotions are the language of the universe, and they are the most powerful tool for manifestation. Every emotion you feel sends out a signal into the universe, and the universe responds by bringing you more of what matches that signal. If you want to manifest abundance, you must feel abundant now. If you want to manifest love, you must feel love now. Your emotions are the most direct route to aligning with your desires. Consider the silent river, which flows effortlessly through the landscape. It does not struggle against the rocks or the terrain. It flows with the natural rhythm of the land. The river does not try to force its way forward. It simply aligns with the flow of the land, moving with ease and grace. So too must you align your emotions with the energy of your desires. When you do so, the manifestation flows effortlessly, without resistance. The practice of becoming the manifestation also requires faith. Faith is the belief in something that cannot yet be seen, but is known to be true. When you embody the energy of your desires, you are walking with faith, trusting that the universe will bring what you need at the perfect time. Faith is the quiet assurance that your desires are already on their way to you, even if they are not yet visible in the physical world. This is the faith of silent trust, the belief that all things are unfolding as they should, and that the universe is always working in your favor. To practice becoming the manifestation, take a moment each day to sit in stillness. Close your eyes and visualize the life you desire, not as something you will one day have, but as something you already possess. See yourself living the life you wish to create, and feel the emotions that come with it. Feel the abundance, feel the love, feel the peace. Allow yourself to be fully immersed in the energy of your desires. As you do this, you are not waiting for something to happen. You are aligning with what is already true. You are becoming the manifestation. The more you practice this alignment, the more the world around you will reflect it. The energy you carry within you will begin to shift the world outside of you. The people you meet, the opportunities that come to you, the experiences you have, all of these will begin to mirror the energy you are embodying. This is the law of silent abundance in action. The more you become the energy of your desires, the more your life will reflect that energy. The practice of becoming the manifestation requires patience. It is not something that happens overnight. Just as a sculptor must patiently chip away at the stone, or a gardener must patiently wait for the seeds to grow, so too must you allow the process of manifestation to unfold in its own time. Trust that your desires are already on their way to you, and that they will come to you when you are fully aligned with them. In the end, becoming the manifestation is not about forcing or striving. It is about embodying. It is about aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the life you desire. It is about trusting that the universe is always working in your favor and that you are not separate from the abundance you seek. When you become the manifestation, the universe will respond in kind, and the life you have always dreamed of will begin to unfold before you. Take a deep breath and feel the energy of your desires within you. Know that they are already a part of you, and that the universe is already bringing them into form. Become the manifestation of your desires, and in doing so, you will see them materialize in your life with ease and grace. This is the path of silent abundance, the path of becoming what you seek. Chapter 7. The Alchemy of Energy Multiplication. In the unseen realms of creation, energy is the currency that shapes and molds all things. It is the force that fuels the universe, moving through every living being and every thought, every feeling, and every action. The law of silent abundance operates on the principle that the more you align with the flow of this energy, the more it multiplies, expanding in ways beyond your comprehension. Energy, when cultivated and directed, has the power to multiply in ways that transcend the physical limitations of the world. To harness this power, you must learn the sacred art of energy multiplication, the practice of amplifying your inner energy to create a ripple effect that touches all aspects of your life. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. It simply flows, transforms, and multiplies. In the world of silent abundance, your thoughts, emotions, and actions are the key to directing this energy. Everything around you is fueled by energy: your relationships, your work, your health, your finances, and it is this energy that determines the quality of your life. The more energy you direct toward your desires, the more you draw that energy back to you, amplifying its effects. To multiply your energy is to enter into the sacred flow of the universe, understanding that you are an active participant in the dance of creation. You are not a passive observer waiting for abundance to come to you. You are a creator, a multiplier, whose thoughts, emotions, and actions reverberate through the fabric of existence. This is the power of energy multiplication, the ability to expand your energy, focus it, and direct it toward the manifestation of your desires. Consider the silent alchemist who stood before his workbench, surrounded by a variety of metals. He did not attempt to create gold from thin air. Instead, he knew that gold was already within the base metals, hidden beneath their surface. With patience and precision, he focused his energy on each element, transmuting it into a more refined state. The alchemist understood that the energy was not created by force. It was unlocked and multiplied by concentration, intention, and alignment with the natural laws of the universe. In the same way, you too can multiply your energy by aligning with the natural flow of abundance, unlocking the potential within you and directing it toward your desires. Energy multiplication begins with awareness. You must first become aware of the energy you are currently holding, for you cannot multiply what you do not understand. In every moment, you are surrounded by energy, the energy of your thoughts, your emotions, and the energy of the world around you. You send out a vibration with every thought you think and every feeling you feel. and it is this energy that creates the reality you experience. If you are thinking thoughts of scarcity, fear, or limitation, you are sending out a low-frequency vibration that will attract more of the same. If, however, you are thinking thoughts of abundance, love, and possibility, you send out a high-frequency vibration that aligns you with the flow of creation. To begin the process of energy multiplication, you must first become aware of the energy you are holding within. Take a moment now to close your eyes and observe the energy within you. How do you feel in this moment? Is your energy vibrant and expansive, or is it heavy and contracted? Are your thoughts focused on what you desire, or are they focused on what you lack? Are your emotions aligned with your goals, or are they filled with doubt and fear? Your ability to multiply energy begins with the awareness of where you currently stand. You cannot multiply energy that is scattered or chaotic. You must first bring your energy into alignment, focusing it on what you wish to create. Just as a magnifying glass focuses light into a concentrated beam, so too must you focus your energy with intention, concentration, and faith. Once you become aware of the energy within you, the next step is to direct it. The energy you hold is not something to be hoarded. It is something to be shared, multiplied, and directed toward your desires. This is where the art of visualization comes into play. Visualization is the process of seeing your desires as already true, and in doing so, amplifying the energy you hold within. When you visualize, you are not merely imagining a future event. You are aligning with the present reality of your desires. You are amplifying your energy, focusing it, and directing it with clarity and purpose. Imagine the silent archer who pulled back his bow, steadying his aim. He did not release the arrow aimlessly. He focused his energy, aligning his mind, body, and spirit with his target. With a single, focused release, the arrow flew straight to its mark. The archer knew that energy was best multiplied when it was focused, and in the same way, you must focus your energy on your desires, directing it with precision and intention. Visualization is a powerful tool because it allows you to focus your energy on a single point of creation. When you visualize your desires, you are amplifying the energy around them, making them more real, more tangible, and more likely to manifest. In the same way that the archer's arrow travels toward its target with focused energy, your desires will move toward you when you direct your energy with purpose. But visualization alone is not enough. You must also align your emotions with your desires. Emotions are the language of the universe, and they are the most potent form of energy you possess. Every emotion you feel sends out a vibration into the world, and that vibration attracts more of the same. If you are feeling emotions of gratitude, joy, and love, you are sending out a high-frequency vibration that aligns with the energy of abundance. If you are feeling emotions of fear, lack, or doubt, you are sending out a low-frequency vibration that aligns with scarcity and limitation. To multiply your energy, you must align your emotions with the energy of your desires. Feel the abundance as if it is already yours. Feel the love, the joy, and the peace that comes with the manifestation of your desires. Allow your emotions to become a powerful force of creation, amplifying the energy within you and aligning it with the flow of the universe. Consider the silent river, which flows effortlessly through the landscape. It does not struggle against the rocks or the obstacles in its path. It simply flows with the current. The river is in harmony with the land, and its energy moves freely, multiplying as it goes. In the same way, when you align your emotions with the energy of abundance, you allow your desires to flow toward you effortlessly, multiplying the energy of creation as it moves through your life. The final step in energy multiplication is to take inspired action. While energy is the key to manifestation, it is through action that energy is brought into the material world. Action is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, and it is the means by which you direct your energy toward the physical manifestation of your desires. But inspired action is different from forced action. Inspired action is action that is aligned with your desires, that flows from a place of clarity, purpose, and intuition. It is not action that is taken out of fear, doubt, or desperation. It is action that is taken with confidence, trust, and faith in the process. The silent warrior knows that action is the final step in the alchemy of manifestation. He does not fight battles out of desperation, but out of confidence and purpose. He knows that each step he takes is a step toward his victory, and he takes those steps with alignment, trust, and clarity. In the same way, you must take inspired action, trusting that each step you take is part of the greater process of manifestation. When you take inspired action, you are multiplying your energy, directing it toward your desires, and creating the conditions for your manifestation to come into form. Action is the vessel through which energy flows into the physical world, and it is through action that you bring your desires to life. To practice energy multiplication, take a moment each day to focus your energy. Close your eyes and visualize your desires as already true. Feel the emotions of abundance and gratitude as if your desires have already manifested. Align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the energy of your desires, and take inspired action when you are called to do so. Trust that the energy you send out will return to you multiplied, and that the universe is always working in your favor. Energy multiplication is the sacred art of aligning with the flow of abundance, amplifying the energy within, and directing it toward the manifestation of your desires. When you understand the power of energy, you realize that everything you need is already within you. You are not waiting for something to come to you. You are multiplying the energy of your desires and bringing them into form with your focused intention. Chapter 8. The Invisible Path of Daily Rituals. Great transformations rarely arrive with thunder. They appear quietly, shaped by small actions repeated with devotion. The world often worships dramatic effort, yet the deeper laws of abundance respond to something far simpler: consistency in silence. The invisible path is formed not by grand declarations, but by daily rituals that few will ever see. A single ritual, practiced faithfully, becomes a doorway through which the current of silent abundance begins to flow. Understand this clearly. The universe does not respond only to what you do once. It responds to what you embody repeatedly. Every repeated act becomes a signal. Every quiet discipline becomes a vibration. When your daily life reflects order, clarity, and inner alignment, the unseen forces that govern creation begin to recognize your frequency. Ritual is the language of alignment. In ancient temples, priests did not rush their ceremonies. Every movement had meaning. Every gesture was repeated with precision. The repetition itself created a sacred atmosphere. The ritual shaped the mind, the breath, and the energy of those who practiced it. So it must be with your own life. The invisible path of daily rituals is not complicated. It is built from simple acts, practiced with awareness. The power does not come from the action alone. It comes from the intention and presence within the action. A ritual anchors your energy. It tells the universe who you are becoming. Consider the parable of the silent monk. The monk lived alone on a mountain where the wind moved slowly through tall grasses. Travelers often passed his small dwelling, yet many believed the monk lived a life of stillness without purpose. They saw no grand accomplishments, no visible wealth, no bustling activity. Each morning before the first light touched the mountains, the monk performed the same quiet ritual. He stepped outside his hut. He faced the horizon. He breathed deeply. He spoke no words. He simply stood in stillness and allowed gratitude to fill his chest. Then he swept the ground outside his hut with careful movements, clearing the dust from the stones. He did this every morning without fail. The ritual lasted only minutes. Years passed. One traveler returned to the mountain after a long absence and noticed something unusual. The valley around the monk's hut had transformed. The soil had grown fertile. The small stream nearby had widened and flowed with clean water. Trees that once struggled to grow now flourished. The traveler asked the monk what miracle had caused such change. The monk smiled gently. He answered with calm simplicity, "I never tried to change the valley. I only kept my inner ground clear each morning." This is the secret of daily ritual. Small acts performed with clarity shape the invisible field around you. Over time, that field begins to influence the physical world. When you repeat a ritual each day, you train your mind to enter a specific state. You teach your energy to recognize stillness, clarity, and abundance as its natural condition. Eventually, the ritual becomes automatic. The body remembers. The mind settles more quickly. The frequency stabilizes. This is how the invisible path is built. You do not need many rituals. One or two practiced faithfully will reshape your inner world. The first ritual must occur at the opening of the day. Morning carries a unique power. In the earliest moments after waking, the mind is still quiet. The noise of the world has not yet entered. The doorway between conscious thought and deeper awareness remains open. This moment must be guarded carefully. Before you touch the distractions of the outside world, you must establish your inner frequency. Sit upright. Close your eyes. Take 10 slow breaths. Allow the breath to settle your thoughts. Now imagine a soft, golden light forming in the center of your chest. This light is calm. It carries warmth and quiet certainty. With each breath, the light expands slightly. It does not rush. It grows with steady patience. After several breaths, the light fills your entire body. Now speak silently within your mind. Abundance already lives within me. Let the words settle into the silence. Remain there for a few moments. Then open your eyes slowly. This ritual requires only minutes, yet it prepares your entire day. You have set the frequency before the world attempts to set it for you. The second ritual belongs to the closing of the day. Night is a sacred threshold. As the body prepares for rest, the mind releases much of the tension accumulated throughout the day. The moments before sleep are powerful because the subconscious mind becomes highly receptive. What you hold in thought during this time begins to shape the deeper layers of your inner world. Before sleep, sit quietly once more. Reflect on the day without judgment. Do not analyze mistakes. Do not replay frustrations. Instead, ask a simple question. Where did abundance appear today? Perhaps someone offered kindness. Perhaps an opportunity revealed itself. Perhaps you simply experienced peace during a quiet moment. Acknowledge each example gently. Then offer gratitude. Gratitude is the closing seal of the day. It signals to the universe that you recognize the flow of abundance already present in your life. Once gratitude settles in the mind, allow yourself to rest. Sleep then becomes a continuation of the ritual. The subconscious mind begins arranging new patterns while the body renews its strength. These two rituals form the pillars of the invisible path. Morning alignment, evening gratitude. Simple, quiet, powerful. But there is another layer to ritual that must be understood: protection. When you begin practicing silent rituals, your inner frequency strengthens. Yet the world remains full of noise. Conversations filled with doubt. Environments heavy with tension. News that feeds fear. These influences attempt to disturb the frequency you are cultivating. For this reason, a small protective ritual must accompany your daily life. Imagine a traveler walking through a dense forest. The traveler carries a lantern. The lantern does not remove the darkness from the forest entirely. It simply creates a sphere of light around the traveler. Within that circle of light, the traveler walks safely. Your awareness becomes the lantern. Whenever you enter environments filled with negativity, imagine a calm sphere of light surrounding your body. The sphere is silent. It allows wisdom to enter while keeping doubt outside. You do not argue with the world. You simply maintain your field. This protective ritual requires only a moment of intention, yet it preserves the energy you have cultivated through your daily practices. The invisible path is built step by step. Morning alignment, protective awareness, evening gratitude. Days become weeks. Weeks become months. Gradually, something remarkable begins to occur. Your mind becomes calmer. Your decisions become clearer. Opportunities begin to appear with unusual timing. This is not coincidence. Your inner frequency has stabilized. The universe recognizes consistency. Many seekers search for complicated formulas. They believe abundance must require complex systems and constant effort. The deeper truth is quieter. Abundance responds to stability. A stable mind, a stable frequency, a stable daily rhythm. The silent architect understood this law well. Each morning he drew a single line upon parchment, only one line, never more. Observers mocked him. They believed great structures required great bursts of activity. Years later, the architect revealed the completed design. Every line drawn daily had formed a masterpiece of precision. No line was rushed. No line was careless. A single daily act had created something extraordinary. So it will be with your life. Do not underestimate the power of daily ritual. The smallest repeated act becomes a force that shapes destiny. Walk the invisible path patiently. Guard your morning. Honor your evening. Maintain your quiet field throughout the day. Soon you will notice something profound. Abundance no longer feels distant. It begins to feel natural because you have built the rhythm through which it can flow. Chapter 9: The Sacred Silence of Prosperity. In the age of constant noise, where the world clamors for attention, the path to prosperity is not found in the loud and the hurried. True prosperity, the kind that flows from the wellspring of silent abundance, is born in silence. It is the sacred silence that creates the space for everything to manifest in its time. This is the core of the sacred silence of prosperity. Understanding that true abundance arises from the quiet within, not the noise of the outside world. The world teaches that wealth is something to be chased, that it is something to be acquired by force and effort. But this is not the way of silent abundance. True prosperity is not won through external struggle, but realized through internal alignment. It is the quiet knowing that all that you need already exists in the unseen realms, waiting to be brought into form by the silent power of your own consciousness. Consider the silent stream that flows through the forest. It does not rush, nor does it struggle against rocks and obstacles. It simply flows, quietly, steadily, without force. It knows that it will reach the ocean in time, and that everything in its path serves to guide its journey. It does not shout its existence, nor does it strive to be noticed. And yet, in its quiet flow, it nourishes the land, refreshes the earth, and ultimately joins with the vast sea of abundance. So too must you flow in the sacred silence of prosperity. You must release the need to chase or struggle. You must trust the flow of life, knowing that prosperity comes not from force but from quiet surrender to the natural flow. To enter into the sacred silence of prosperity, you must first release your attachment to the idea of scarcity. The world is filled with noise that tells you there is not enough. It tells you that you must fight for what you want, that you must compete for resources, that you must work tirelessly to achieve success. This is the voice of scarcity. It is loud, it is persistent, and it is insidious. But it is not the truth of silent abundance. Scarcity is an illusion, a false belief that there is not enough to go around. The truth is that prosperity is infinite. The universe is not a limited resource to be hoarded. It is a vast and endless well of abundance, flowing freely to those who align with its rhythm. When you embrace the sacred silence of prosperity, you release the need to compete, to fight, or to grasp for what you desire. You trust that the universe is always flowing toward you, bringing to you all that you need in the perfect time. The path of silent abundance is not one of effort. It is one of alignment. It is the understanding that when you align with the energy of prosperity, it flows to you effortlessly. Consider the silent farmer who plants his crops each season. He does not struggle with the earth, nor does he force the seeds to grow. Instead, he prepares the soil, plants the seeds with care, waters them regularly, and then waits. He trusts in the process of nature. He knows that prosperity, in the form of his crops, will come in its own time. He does not rush the process. He simply aligns with it. So too must you align with the flow of prosperity. It is not something you need to force, nor is it something that can be hurried. The more you align with the sacred silence of prosperity, the more the universe will reveal its abundance to you. It is a trust, a knowing that prosperity will come in its own time, and that your job is not to chase after it, but to prepare yourself to receive it. The sacred silence of prosperity is also about cultivating inner peace. Prosperity does not come to those who are filled with anxiety, fear, or stress. These emotions are the opposite of abundance. They create blockages in the flow of energy, preventing prosperity from reaching you. When you are stressed or fearful, you send out a vibration of scarcity, which only attracts more of the same. On the other hand, when you are calm, centered, and at peace, you align with the flow of prosperity, and it flows toward you with ease. To cultivate this inner peace, you must first release the need to control everything. The human mind craves control, and it believes that it must manage every aspect of life to achieve success. But this is a fallacy. True prosperity does not come from control. It comes from surrender. When you release the need to control, you make space for the universe to work its magic. You allow life to unfold as it is meant to, trusting that everything is moving toward your highest good. Imagine the silent sky, which watches over the earth, untouched by the storms that may rage below. The sky does not try to control the weather, nor does it struggle against the winds. It simply watches, serene and untroubled. It knows that the storms are temporary, that the sun will rise again, and that all things pass in their own time. So too must you be like the silent sky. When you stop trying to control every aspect of your life, you allow the flow of prosperity to reach you. You trust that everything is unfolding as it should. One of the most powerful aspects of the sacred silence of prosperity is the practice of gratitude. Gratitude is the key that opens the door to abundance. When you are grateful, you align yourself with the energy of prosperity. Gratitude is the signal that you are ready to receive. It is an acknowledgement that the abundance you seek is already here in some form, and that you are open to receiving more. The silent seeker knows this truth. Each day, he gives thanks for the smallest blessings, the warmth of the sun, the freshness of the air, the beauty of the stars. He does not wait for great wealth or success to be grateful. He is grateful for the simple things that already fill his life. This constant practice of gratitude keeps him aligned with the energy of abundance, and as a result, his life flows with prosperity. To cultivate the sacred silence of prosperity, begin by practicing gratitude daily. Take a moment each day to reflect on the blessings in your life. Write them down if you must, but let the feeling of gratitude fill your heart. Do not wait for the grand manifestations to come before you give thanks. Be grateful for the present moment, for what you already have, and for the abundance that is already flowing into your life. The sacred silence of prosperity also involves learning to live in harmony with the rhythms of nature. The world operates according to a divine order, and when you align yourself with this order, you tap into the flow of abundance. This is why daily rituals and routines are so powerful. They help you attune to the natural rhythms of life, and they keep you grounded in the present moment. As you learn to live in harmony with these rhythms, you will begin to notice that everything falls into place with greater ease. Opportunities will arise at the perfect time. Relationships will flourish effortlessly. Money will flow into your life without struggle. The key to this abundance is not forcing it, but aligning with it. The universe is always in motion, always flowing, and when you stop fighting the flow and begin to trust it, prosperity will follow. In the sacred silence of prosperity, there is no need to chase, to struggle, or to force. There is only the quiet trust that all that you seek is already on its way to you. Your role is not to force the universe into action, but to align with it. The more you align with the flow of abundance, the more it will come to you effortlessly. Let go of the need to control. Release the fears and doubts that block the flow of prosperity. Step into the sacred silence, where you can trust the process and allow the universe to provide. Know that your desires are already manifesting, not because you are struggling or forcing them, but because you are aligning with the flow of abundance that is already here. Chapter 10. The Divine Flow. In the beginning, there was motion. The universe was not stagnant or still. It moved, it flowed, it danced in a rhythm that was beyond human understanding. This flow, the divine flow, is the secret of silent abundance. It is the invisible current that moves through all things, guiding the stars, the seasons, and the unfolding of creation itself. It is the underlying force that connects everything, the source of all that is, and it flows endlessly, effortlessly, carrying all things toward their destined purpose. The divine flow is the natural rhythm of life. It is not something that must be forced or controlled, but something that must be trusted. It is the flow of energy, of creativity, of abundance, and it is always available to you. The key is to align yourself with this flow, to surrender to it, and to allow it to carry you to the life you desire. The more you resist the divine flow, the more you block the very energy that can bring you what you seek. But when you align with it, when you allow yourself to move with it, everything falls into place with ease. The world may tell you that you must fight for what you want, that you must struggle, hustle, and push yourself to succeed. But the divine flow teaches you the opposite. It teaches you that true prosperity comes from surrender, from trust, and from alignment with the natural flow of life. Just as a river flows effortlessly around obstacles, so too must you allow your life to unfold naturally, without force. Consider the story of the silent river. This river, unlike others, does not push or fight against the rocks and valleys in its paths. It simply flows, finding its way around obstacles with grace and ease. It knows that it does not need to struggle to reach the ocean. It simply follows the path of least resistance, moving with the natural flow of the earth. The river trusts the flow of life, and because of this, it reaches its destination without effort. The river knows that the divine flow will carry it exactly where it needs to go. So too must you trust the divine flow. The universe does not need to be forced. It already knows the way. Your role is not to control the outcome, but to align with the flow, to trust that everything will unfold in divine timing. The more you align with this flow, the more you will experience prosperity, peace, and fulfillment in every aspect of your life. To align with the divine flow, you must first let go of the need to control. The mind often wants to dictate the pace of life, to demand that things happen according to a fixed schedule. But the divine flow does not operate on human time. It operates in its own rhythm, one that is perfect and beyond comprehension. The key is to release the need for certainty and control, and to trust that the universe is always guiding you in the right direction. The more you release your attachment to control, the more the divine flow will carry you toward your desires. The divine flow also requires patience. Just as the river does not rush, but instead flows steadily toward its destination, so too must you learn to trust the timing of the universe. Manifestation is not a race, nor is it something that can be forced. The flow of prosperity is a gradual process, one that unfolds in its own time. You must trust that the universe is working behind the scenes, preparing the perfect conditions for your desires to manifest. Your job is not to rush the process, but to remain open and receptive, trusting that everything will unfold at the right moment. Consider the silent gardener who plants his seeds in the fertile soil. He does not force the seeds to grow, nor does he push them to bear fruit before their time. He simply plants them, nurtures them, and trusts that in time, the plants will grow and produce fruit. The gardener understands that the natural flow of life cannot be rushed, and that prosperity will come when the time is right. In the same way, you must trust the timing of your desires. They are already taking root in the unseen realms, and with patience and trust, they will manifest in your life at the perfect time. To align with the divine flow, you must also cultivate stillness. The world is filled with distractions, noise, and chaos, but in the quiet moments, you can hear the subtle current of the universe guiding you. Stillness allows you to tune in to the divine flow, to listen to the whispers of your soul, and to follow the path that is meant for you. When you are still, you become attuned to the energy of abundance, and you begin to move with the flow of life rather than against it. This stillness does not require hours of meditation or retreat from the world. It can be found in the quiet moments of your day, when you pause and take a deep breath, when you step away from the distractions and simply listen. It is in these moments of stillness that you can reconnect with the divine flow and align yourself with the abundance that is always available to you. The divine flow is also a flow of energy. It is the current that moves through all things, from the smallest seed to the largest mountain. It is the energy of life, of creation, of manifestation. When you align with the divine flow, you tap into this universal energy, and you become a vessel through which abundance can flow. The more you align with this energy, the more you will attract prosperity into your life. One of the greatest obstacles to the divine flow is resistance. Resistance comes in many forms: fear, doubt, impatience, and the belief that you are not worthy of prosperity. These are the blocks that prevent the flow of abundance from reaching you. When you resist the flow of life, you create walls that keep the energy of prosperity from entering. But when you release resistance and trust the process, you open the floodgates of abundance, allowing it to flow freely into your life. To release resistance, you must first become aware of it. Pay attention to your thoughts and emotions. Are you feeling fear or doubt about your ability to manifest your desires? Are you holding on to old beliefs that limit your ability to receive abundance? These are the forms of resistance that block the divine flow. The key is to recognize them without judgment and then release them. Trust that the universe has a plan for you and that everything you need is already on its way. The divine flow is not just about receiving prosperity. It is also about giving. The more you align with the flow of abundance, the more you are able to give freely and generously. When you are in alignment with the divine flow, you become a conduit for the energy of prosperity. And this energy flows not only into your life, but into the lives of others as well. The more you give, the more the universe responds by bringing you even more abundance. The divine flow is the rhythm of life, and it is always moving, always flowing, always expanding. It is the pulse of creation, and it is always available to you. Your role is not to force, to chase, or to struggle. Your role is to align with the flow, to trust the process, and to allow the universe to bring you what you desire in its own perfect time. The more you align with the divine flow, the more your life will become a reflection of abundance. Opportunities will arise effortlessly, relationships will flourish, and prosperity will flow into every area of your life. The key is to trust the flow, to release resistance, and to allow yourself to be carried by the current of life. In this moment, take a deep breath. Feel the divine flow moving through you, through the air, through the earth, through all things. Know that you are a part of this flow, and that prosperity is already on its way to you. Trust the process, trust the timing, and surrender to the flow. Everything you desire is already moving toward you, and as you align with the divine flow, you will find that prosperity comes with ease. Chapter 11. The Hidden Laws of Prosperity. The universe operates according to invisible laws that govern the flow of energy, the manifestation of desires, and the unfolding of abundance. These laws are not taught in schools or passed down in textbooks. They are hidden truths, veiled in silence, waiting to be discovered by those who seek to understand the deeper workings of the universe. The laws of prosperity are ancient, eternal, and unchanging, and they are the key to unlocking the flow of silent abundance. These laws are not based on effort or struggle. They are based on alignment with the natural rhythms of life, with the energy of the universe, and with the infinite source of creation. The more you align with these hidden laws, the more the universe will respond with abundance. The challenge lies not in forcing the laws to work, but in learning to recognize and harmonize with them. The first and most fundamental law of prosperity is the law of circulation. The law of circulation teaches that energy must flow freely, just as the river cannot remain still, but must keep moving to sustain its life. So too must the energy of prosperity circulate. It cannot be hoarded, held back, or blocked. When you give freely, whether it be your time, your love, or your resources, you open the flow of abundance in your life. The more you give, the more the universe will respond by bringing more into your life. This is not a transaction based on the exchange of goods or services. It is a sacred exchange of energy. The energy you send out will always return to you, multiplied. Consider the silent tree, which gives its fruit freely to the world. The tree does not hold back its fruit, nor does it question whether there will be enough. It simply gives, knowing that in giving, it will receive the nourishment it needs to continue growing. In the same way, when you give freely from the abundance within you, you align with the law of circulation, allowing the universe to bring even more abundance back into your life. The second law of prosperity is the law of abundance. The law of abundance teaches that prosperity is not limited, it is infinite. The universe is a vast ocean of potential, and there is more than enough for everyone. There is no shortage of wealth, love, or opportunity. These things are not scarce. They are abundant, and they are available to all who align with the flow of abundance. The key to unlocking the law of abundance is to release the belief in scarcity. When you believe that there is not enough to go around, you create a barrier that blocks the flow of prosperity. But when you embrace the truth that abundance is infinite and available to you, You align yourself with the limitless potential of the universe. Consider the silent sky, which offers its light to all, without discrimination. The sky does not withhold its rays from one person or another. It simply shines, knowing that in doing so, it will bring warmth and life to all. In the same way, the universe does not withhold its blessings from you. They are available to you in infinite supply, waiting for you to recognize your worth and claim your share. The third law of prosperity is the law of alignment. The law of alignment teaches that prosperity is a result of alignment with the energy of the universe. You cannot force abundance to manifest by working against the natural flow. Instead, you must align yourself with the energy of prosperity. This means that your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions must be in harmony with the vibration of abundance. When you align your inner world with the outer world of prosperity, you create a powerful current that brings everything you desire into your life. Consider the silent songbird, which sings in perfect harmony with the wind. The bird does not struggle to find its song. It simply aligns with the rhythm of the air, letting its song flow effortlessly. In the same way, when you align with the energy of abundance, your desires will flow toward you naturally, without struggle or force. This alignment requires that you clear your inner space, let go of limiting beliefs, and open yourself to the possibility of infinite abundance. The fourth law of prosperity is the law of gratitude. The law of gratitude teaches that gratitude is the key to unlocking the flow of prosperity. When you are grateful for the blessings in your life, you send out a signal to the universe that you are ready to receive more. Gratitude is a powerful force that amplifies the energy of abundance, drawing more of it into your life. The more you express gratitude for what you already have, the more you open yourself to receive what is yet to come. Consider the silent elder, who offers thanks for every day, no matter the circumstances. The elder does not wait for great blessings to give thanks. He is grateful for the simple moments, the warmth of the sun, the sound of the wind, the company of loved ones. His gratitude creates an energy of abundance that radiates out, bringing more blessings into his life. In the same way, when you cultivate a heart of gratitude, you align with the law of prosperity, allowing the universe to bless you with even more. The fifth law of prosperity is the law of trust. The law of trust teaches that trust is the foundation of prosperity. Trust is the belief that the universe is always working in your favor, that it has your best interests at heart, and that everything is unfolding in divine timing. When you trust that the universe will provide for you, you release the need for control, and you allow the flow of abundance to reach you effortlessly. Trust is the key to surrender, and it is through surrender that you align with the infinite power of the universe. Consider the silent mountain, which stands firm in the face of storms, trusting that the winds will pass. The mountain does not fight the storm. It simply endures, knowing that the storm will end and the sun will shine again. In the same way, you must trust that whatever challenges you face are temporary, and that the universe is guiding you toward your highest good. Trust in the process of manifestation, and know that your desires are on their way to you. The final law of prosperity is the law of divine timing. The law of divine timing teaches that everything happens in its own time, in perfect order. Prosperity does not come in a moment of desperation, nor does it appear when you demand it. Prosperity comes when the conditions are right, when you are aligned with the energy of abundance, and when you are ready to receive it. Divine timing is the understanding that the universe is always working behind the scenes to bring you exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. Your desires are already on their way to you, and they will arrive when the time is right. Consider the silent seed, which waits patiently in the soil. The seed does not rush its growth, nor does it question when it will sprout. It trusts that, in its own time, it will emerge and grow into something magnificent. The seed knows that it does not need to force the process. It simply needs to align with the natural flow of life. In the same way, when you trust divine timing, you allow the universe to bring your desires into being in perfect timing. These are the hidden laws of prosperity. They are simple, yet profound. They are not something to be forced or hurried. They are the natural rhythms of the universe, waiting to be recognized and aligned with. When you align with these laws, you open yourself to the flow of silent abundance. and you allow prosperity to flow freely into your life. In this moment, reflect on these laws. How can you align with them in your life? How can you release scarcity, embrace abundance, and trust the process of manifestation? Know that the universe is always ready to provide for you, and that everything you need is already on its way. Trust in the hidden laws of prosperity, and let them guide you to the abundant life you deserve. Chapter 12. The Eternal Return of Silence. The universe is in constant motion. Yet within this ever-changing cycle, there exists an unbroken thread of stillness, an eternal silence that remains unaffected by the shifting tides of time. It is this silence that underpins all of creation, the silence from which all things arise and to which all things eventually return. The eternal return of silence is the truth that all manifestations, all experiences, and all forms of prosperity arise from this deep well of stillness, and it is to this silence that they ultimately return. Understanding the eternal return of silence is the key to aligning yourself with the flow of silent abundance. It teaches you that everything you seek, whether material or spiritual, is born from the same source of stillness. Prosperity, like all things, is not something external to you. It is something that resides within, waiting to be realized. It is the practice of returning to this deep well of silence within you that allows all desires to manifest effortlessly. The eternal return of silence is not about withdrawing from the world or escaping the noise of everyday life. It is about finding that quiet space within, a space that is untouched by the distractions of the outside world. It is about returning to your inner center, where you are connected to the infinite source of all things. From this place of stillness, you can create, receive, and experience the abundance that is your birthright. Consider the silent moon, which rises each night to cast its light upon the earth. The moon does not struggle to shine. It simply reflects the light of the sun, quietly and effortlessly. Its light is always present, even when it is hidden behind clouds or the horizon. The moon's radiance is not dependent on the outside world. It arises from within, from the eternal silence that resides in the depths of space. In the same way, prosperity arises not from external conditions, but from the silence within you. When you return to this inner silence, you become a channel for abundance to flow into your life. The practice of aligning with the eternal return of silence is the practice of inner stillness. It is the understanding that, in the deepest sense, you are already connected to everything you seek. You do not need to chase after prosperity, nor do you need to struggle to make it manifest. Prosperity arises naturally when you align with the silence that underlies all things. This is the eternal truth. Abundance is already present within you, and all you must do is return to the silent source from which it springs. The key to accessing the eternal return of silence is to cultivate a practice of stillness in your daily life. This stillness is not just the absence of noise or movement. It is the presence of awareness, of connection to the deeper currents of life. It is a quiet space where you can hear the whispers of your soul and feel the flow of the universe moving through you. In this space of stillness, you can release the grip of fear, doubt, and worry, and allow the flow of silent abundance to move freely through your life. To practice stillness, begin with the breath. The breath is the bridge between the body and the mind, and it is through the breath that you can enter into a state of deep inner silence. Sit quietly and take several slow, deep breaths, allowing the breath to anchor your attention in the present moment. As you inhale, imagine drawing in the stillness of the universe, and as you exhale, release any tension or distraction that may be present in your mind or body. Continue this practice for several minutes, allowing the breath to guide you deeper into stillness. As you sit in stillness, notice the thoughts that arise. The mind is often filled with noise, with endless chatter and distractions. But in this practice, you do not need to force the thoughts to stop. Simply observe them, without attachment, allowing them to pass like clouds in the sky. The more you practice stillness, the more you will realize that your thoughts are not who you are. They are merely passing phenomena, like ripples on the surface of a deep, silent lake. When you let go of attachment to your thoughts, you return to the stillness that lies beneath them, and it is in this stillness that you connect with the flow of silent abundance. The eternal return of silence is not just an individual experience, it is a universal truth. Everything in the universe, from the smallest atom to the largest galaxy, is in a constant cycle of return. Life itself is an eternal dance of creation and dissolution, of rising and falling, of appearing and disappearing. The universe is always returning to itself, and this cycle is the foundation of all life. Prosperity, too, follows this cycle. It rises from the silence of creation and returns to the silence of the universe, only to be reborn again. This cyclical nature of prosperity is what makes it so powerful. Prosperity is not a one-time event, but a continuous flow. It comes and goes, ebbs and flows, just as the tides of the ocean do. When you align yourself with the eternal return of silence, you tap into this eternal cycle of abundance. You no longer chase prosperity or try to hold on to it. Instead, you allow it to flow through you, trusting that it will return to you in the perfect time. Consider the silent forest, which grows and changes with the seasons. Each year, new life is born, and old life fades away. The forest does not cling to the past or fear the future. It simply flows with the cycle of life, knowing that the cycle is eternal and that abundance will always return. In the same way, prosperity flows through your life in cycles. There may be times when it appears that abundance is distant or that the flow has slowed, but this is simply part of the cycle. Trust that prosperity will return, just as the seasons return to the forest. All things come and go, but the silence from which they arise is eternal. The eternal return of silence is also about surrender. It is the understanding that, in the end, all things return to the source. You are not separate from this source. You are part of the cycle. Prosperity is not something you own or control. It is something that flows through you, guided by the natural order of the universe. When you surrender to the flow of life, you allow abundance to enter your life with grace and ease. You no longer need to fight or struggle for it. You simply allow it to come, knowing that it is already part of you. To practice surrender, begin by letting go of the need to control the outcome of your desires. This does not mean that you stop taking action or that you stop working toward your goals. It simply means that you release the need to force the universe to give you what you want. Trust that the universe knows what is best for you, and that everything is unfolding in divine timing. When you surrender, you align with the flow of life, and prosperity flows to you effortlessly. The eternal return of silence teaches us that all things are connected. Just as the silence of the universe is the foundation of all creation, so too is prosperity, rooted in the deep silence that underlies all things. When you align with this silence, you align with the flow of abundance that is always present, always available, and always ready to be received. In this moment, sit in stillness and reflect on the eternal cycle of life. Allow yourself to connect with the silence that is always present within you. Trust that prosperity is already flowing into your life, and that it will continue to return, again and again, as you align with the natural flow of abundance. Know that you are part of this eternal cycle, and that all things come to you in perfect timing. The eternal return of silence is the key to understanding the flow of silent abundance. It is through silence that all things are born, and it is through silence that all things return. Align yourself with this flow, and prosperity will naturally follow. The silence is the source, and in the silence, all things are possible. Chapter 13. The Hidden Power of Gratitude. In the sacred silence of the universe, there is one force more powerful than all others: gratitude. This simple, often overlooked emotion holds the key to unlocking the floodgates of silent abundance. Gratitude is not just an emotional response to receiving something. It is the very energy that aligns you with the flow of prosperity. It is the key that opens the door to the universe's boundless storehouse, allowing the fullness of life to pour into your experience. Gratitude is a force of alignment. When you express gratitude, you send a powerful signal to the universe that you recognize the abundance already present in your life. Gratitude shifts your energy from lack to abundance, from fear to trust. It is the force that reorders your inner world and sets the stage for more to come. The universe responds to gratitude with generosity, bringing more of the very things you are grateful for into your life. This is the law of gratitude. When you are grateful for what you have, you invite more into your life, multiplying the blessings already present. The The key to understanding the power of gratitude is recognizing that it is not only a response, but a practice, a way of being. Most people express gratitude as a reaction to external circumstances, feeling thankful when something positive happens. But true gratitude is not conditional. It does not depend on what happens outside of you. True gratitude arises from within, from the recognition that life itself is a gift. When you cultivate a heart of gratitude, you align yourself with the flow of silent abundance, and the universe responds in kind. Consider the silent beggar who sat by the side of the road with nothing but his hands open to the sky. He did not beg for riches, nor did he lament his lack. Instead, he gave thanks for what he had: the warmth of the sun, the cool breeze, the earth beneath his feet. Each moment, he expressed gratitude for the simple gifts of life, and in return, the universe showered him with abundance. The beggar understood the law of gratitude. By being grateful for what he already had, he opened himself to receive more. So too must you be like the silent beggar. Express gratitude for the smallest blessings in your life: the warmth of your home, the food on your table, the people who love you. These are the building blocks of abundance, and when you give thanks for them, you send a signal to the universe that you are open to receiving more. The practice of gratitude is not limited to moments of joy or success. It must be a constant presence in your life, even during times of difficulty or uncertainty. The most powerful gratitude comes when you are able to give thanks even in the face of challenges, knowing that each obstacle is part of the greater journey, a step in the unfolding of your desires. Gratitude in times of difficulty shows that you trust the process of life, that you know that all things are working together for your highest good. It is in these moments of deepest surrender that the universe responds most profoundly. Consider the silent warrior who, in the midst of battle, took a moment to offer gratitude for the strength in his body, the courage in his heart, and the lessons of the struggle. Though surrounded by chaos, he remained grounded in gratitude, knowing that the battle was temporary and that peace would follow. His gratitude did not make the battle easier, but it allowed him to move through it with clarity and resilience. In the same way, when you face challenges, gratitude allows you to stay connected to the flow of abundance, reminding you that all things are part of the greater design. The power of gratitude lies in its ability to shift your perception. When you focus on what you are grateful for, your mind shifts from a state of lack to one of abundance. You begin to see the blessings that surround you, the opportunities that are already available, and the potential that exists within every moment. Gratitude opens your eyes to the gifts that are already present in your life, allowing you to receive them fully. This shift in perception is the foundation of the law of attraction. When you are in a state of gratitude, you are vibrating at a frequency that is in harmony with the universe's abundance. You become a magnet for the very things you are grateful for. The more you focus on what you have, the more you invite those things into your life. This is the secret of manifestation. It is not about focusing on what you lack, but on what you already have, knowing that in that very recognition, the universe will bring you more. To cultivate the power of gratitude in your life, begin by making it a daily practice. Take a few moments each day to reflect on the blessings in your life, no matter how small. As you go about your day, remind yourself of the things you are grateful for. This practice will begin to shift your energy, aligning you with the flow of silent abundance. Gratitude is a powerful force, but it must be practiced consistently for its effects to manifest. Begin each morning with a simple gratitude ritual. Before you get out of bed, take a deep breath and silently give thanks for the new day. Express gratitude for your health, your home, your family, and anything else that comes to mind. As you go about your day, continue to look for opportunities to express gratitude, whether it be for a kind word, a beautiful moment, or a simple act of kindness. When you go to bed at night, take a moment to reflect on the day and offer thanks for everything that happened, both the challenges and the blessings. As you make gratitude a regular part of your life, you will begin to notice a shift. Your perspective will change. You will start to see abundance where you once saw a lack, opportunities where you once saw obstacles, and beauty where you once saw imperfection. Gratitude will become a lens through which you see the world, and in doing so, You will begin to experience the flow of silent abundance in every area of your life. The law of gratitude also requires that you extend this practice to others. When you express gratitude for the people in your life, you create an energy of reciprocity. You honor their contributions, and in doing so, you open the door for more of the same in your own life. Gratitude strengthens relationships, deepens connections, and fosters a sense of community. When you give thanks for the people who support you, you not only acknowledge their presence, but you also invite more support and love into your life. Consider the silent teacher who gave thanks each day for his students. Though they came to him seeking wisdom, he recognized that it was through their questions, their challenges, and their curiosity that he too learned and grew. His gratitude for his students created a bond of mutual respect and understanding. In the same way, when you express gratitude for those around you, you deepen the connection and invite more opportunities for growth and prosperity. The more you cultivate the practice of gratitude, the more you will see its effects in your life. Gratitude opens the floodgates of abundance, inviting prosperity into your life in ways that you may not have expected. It aligns your energy with the flow of the universe, and the universe responds by bringing more of what you are grateful for into your experience. In this moment, take a deep breath and reflect on all the things you are grateful for. Allow the feeling of gratitude to fill your heart and mind. As you do know that this simple act is opening the door to silent abundance. You are aligning with the flow of prosperity, and the universe is responding by bringing more of what you desire into your life. Gratitude is the key to unlocking the flow of abundance. It is the energy that attracts more of what you desire, and it is the practice that aligns you with the natural rhythm of prosperity. When you embrace the power of gratitude, you open yourself to receive the endless blessings the universe has in store for you. Let gratitude be the foundation upon which you build your life, and watch as silent abundance flows effortlessly into every area of your existence. Chapter 14. The Sacred Act of Surrender. The human experience is often defined by a constant push or drive to control, to achieve, to make things happen. From the moment of birth, we are taught that life must be shaped by effort, by force, and by relentless striving. The more we push, the more we believe we must work harder, sacrifice more, and give all of ourselves to attain our desires. Yet, in the realm of silent abundance, there exists a truth that runs contrary to this understanding. True prosperity does not come through pushing. It comes through surrender. The sacred act of surrender is not about giving up or resigning oneself to fate. It is not about passivity or neglect. Rather, it is the conscious decision to release control, to let go of the need to force outcomes, and to trust in the flow of life. It is a deep, transformative act that allows the universe to align with your desires without the interference of your will. Through surrender, you align yourself with the natural order of the universe. And in doing so, you invite the silent power of abundance to flow effortlessly into your life. Consider the silent river, which follows its course with unwavering trust in the natural flow. It does not struggle against the banks of the riverbed, nor does it fight the obstacles it encounters. The river simply flows, allowing the current to guide it toward its destination. The river trusts the unseen forces at work and surrenders to the flow, knowing that it is being carried to exactly where it needs to be. This is the essence of surrender, the knowing that the path is already laid out, and your role is not to force or struggle, but to align with the flow. Surrender is the paradox of abundance. On one hand, it may seem as though surrendering means giving up. Yet, in truth, surrender is the most powerful action you can take. It requires courage and faith to trust that the universe is guiding you toward your highest good. When you surrender, you open yourself to the limitless potential of the universe, allowing the abundant flow of life to manifest effortlessly. The first step in the sacred act of surrender is to let go of the need to control the outcome. The mind often believes that if it does not control every detail, everything will fall apart. We believe that our desires must be met on our timeline, according to our specifications. But the truth is that the universe operates on its own timeline, one that is far more aligned with your highest good than your mind can comprehend. The sacred act of surrender asks you to release the need to control the how, when, and where of your desires. It asks you to trust that the universe is already moving in your favor, even when you cannot see the full picture. Consider the silent gardener who plants seeds in the soil. He does not control the sun, the rain, or the soil. He does not dictate the speed at which the seeds grow. He simply plants the seeds, nurtures them, and trusts the process of growth. The gardener knows that the plants will grow in their own time, according to their natural rhythm. Similarly, when you surrender, you trust that your desires are already in the process of manifesting, even if you cannot yet see the results. Surrender is not about passivity. It is about active trust. It is the choice to stop fighting against life and to allow yourself to move with it. It is the understanding that you do not need to force outcomes, nor do you need to strive endlessly. When you surrender, you stop swimming against the current, and instead, you allow the current to carry you effortlessly toward your destination. This does not mean that you stop taking action. It means that you take inspired action, guided by intuition and trust, rather than out of desperation or fear. Consider the silent archer, who draws his bow and aims with intention, but then releases the arrow with no attachment to the outcome. The archer knows that the arrow will hit its target, not because of his force, but because he has aligned himself with the natural flow of the bow and arrow. He trusts in the process, releasing the arrow into the air, knowing that it will reach its mark. So too must you release your desires with trust. You aim with intention, but then you surrender the outcome to the universe, knowing that it will be delivered in the right time, in the right way. Surrender also involves letting go of the need to be perfect. The mind often believes that it must have everything figured out, that it must control every aspect of life to ensure success. But the sacred act of surrender invites you to let go of this perfectionist mindset. You do not need to have all the answers, and you do not need to control every detail. Instead, you must trust that the universe has a plan for you that is far greater than anything your mind can conceive. The silent sculptor understood this truth. He did not try to force the stone into a shape he envisioned. He allowed the stone to reveal itself, trusting that the form was already within, waiting to emerge. The sculptor did not struggle against the stone. He simply followed the flow, allowing his hands to guide him as the stone revealed its shape. In the same way, your desires are already within you, waiting to be revealed. You do not need to force them into being. Instead, you must surrender to the process, trusting that the universe will shape them according to its perfect design. The practice of surrender also requires faith. Faith is the trust that all will unfold as it should, even when the path is not clear. It is the belief that the universe is always working in your favor, and that your desires are already on their way to you. Faith is the foundation of surrender, and without it, surrender becomes difficult. To surrender fully, you must trust that everything is working for your highest good, even when it may not appear that way. Consider the silent pilgrim who walks a long journey with only faith to guide him. He does not know exactly where the path leads, nor does he know what challenges lie ahead. But with each step, he surrenders to the journey, trusting that it will lead him exactly where he needs to be. He does not question the road, nor does he fear the unknown. He walks with faith, knowing that every step is part of the greater plan. So too must you walk with faith, surrendering to the process and trusting that every step is leading you closer to your desires. When you trust the universe, you stop fighting against it, and you allow the flow of life to carry you toward your highest good. The sacred act of surrender is also about letting go of the past. The mind often holds on to old hurts, fears, and regrets, believing that they are part of who we are. But the past is only a story that no longer serves you. When you surrender, you release the grip of the past and allow yourself to move freely into the present moment. You stop clinging to old beliefs and narratives that limit your potential. In surrender, you release the past, making space for new possibilities to enter your life. The more you practice surrender, the more you will find that life unfolds with ease. You no longer need to struggle or force things to happen. You align with the flow, trusting that everything is already on its way to you. Surrender is not about giving up. It is about releasing the need to control, trusting the universe, and allowing life to unfold as it should. In this moment, take a deep breath and release the need to control. Surrender to the flow of life. Trust that everything is unfolding in perfect timing, and know that your desires are already in the process of manifesting. You do not need to force the outcome. All you need to do is align with the flow and trust that everything is working for your highest good. The sacred act of surrender is the key to silent abundance. When you release control, you open yourself to receive the abundance that is already on its way to you. Trust, surrender, and allow the flow of life to carry you to the prosperity you seek. Chapter 15. The Legacy of Silent Abundance. The silent laws of the universe do not merely guide us through the intricacies of life's journey. They weave the fabric of a deeper truth, one that reverberates through time and across generations. As you walk the path of silent abundance, you begin to realize that prosperity is not just for you alone. It is a force that extends beyond your individual experience. It is a force that leaves a legacy, a ripple that touches everyone and everything around you. The legacy of silent abundance is the unfolding of prosperity that transcends the self, creating a lasting impact that reaches into the future, touching the lives of those who come after you. This legacy is not something that you build through effort, through manipulation, or through an endless accumulation of wealth. It is not found in the things you leave behind, but in the way you live, the energy you cultivate, and the consciousness you bring into the world. Prosperity, in its truest sense, is a gift to the world, an offering that enriches the lives of others and reverberates far beyond the boundaries of your own existence. This legacy is born from your alignment with silent abundance, from your practice of surrender, and from your ability to receive and give freely. The first step in understanding the legacy of silent abundance is to recognize that prosperity is not a personal possession. It is a flow, a current that moves through you and toward others. The more you align with the flow, the more you realize that your success is not only for your benefit, it is for the benefit of everyone you touch. The energy you embody, the intentions you set, and the gratitude you practice are not just personal forces. They are universal energies that spread outward, creating a ripple effect in the world. Consider the silent elder who lived in a small village nestled in the hills. He did not seek fame, wealth, or recognition. His days were simple, and his actions were quiet. Yet, he left an enduring legacy, for his presence brought peace to the village. He did not teach with words, but with the energy of his being. The villagers, seeing his contentment and alignment with the flow of life, began to align with that same energy. The elder's legacy was not built on what he left behind, but on the silent example of how he lived. His life became a beacon of silent abundance, a reminder to all that prosperity flows when we surrender to the natural flow and align with the universe's rhythm. So too, must you become a vessel for silent abundance, not just for your own benefit, but for the benefit of the world. Prosperity is not meant to be hoarded or hidden away. It is meant to be shared, to be a source of light and inspiration to others. When you align with silent abundance, you create a ripple effect that touches the lives of everyone around you. Your energy, your actions, and your consciousness affect the world in ways that go beyond your understanding. The second step in creating the legacy of silent abundance is to recognize that everything you do has an impact. Every thought you think, every word you speak, and every action you take sends out an energy that reverberates throughout the universe. This is the power of alignment. When you align yourself with the flow of abundance, you send out a vibration that attracts more abundance into your life. But you also send out a vibration that influences the world around you. The energy you cultivate becomes a magnet, drawing not only the things you desire, but also the people, opportunities, and experiences that resonate with your vibration. Consider the silent seed, which falls into the earth and begins to grow. The seed does not struggle to grow. It simply follows the natural rhythm of life. Its roots spread deep into the earth, and its branches stretch toward the sky. As the seed grows into a tree, it provides shade, shelter, and nourishment to all who come near. The tree does not seek recognition or fame. It simply grows and offers its gifts freely. Its legacy is not in the fruit it bears alone, but in the way it enriches the lives of others. In the same way, when you align with silent abundance, you become a source of nourishment for the world. Your legacy is not in what you acquire, but in what you give. The third step in understanding the legacy of silent abundance is to see that prosperity is a cycle. The universe operates in cycle seasons of giving and receiving, of birth and rebirth, of creation and dissolution. The more you align with the flow, the more you become a part of this eternal cycle. You realize that everything you receive is not just for you, it is part of a greater cycle of exchange. As you receive the abundance of the universe, you also give. As you give, you open the space for more to come. This cycle is the true meaning of prosperity. It is not about accumulation, it is about flow. Just as the river flows without ceasing, constantly giving and receiving, so too must you. Prosperity is the flow of energy that moves through you and towards others. When you are aligned with the flow, you understand that there is no shortage, no limit to the abundance that can be shared. You give freely, knowing that in giving, you open the space for more to return to you. This cycle of giving and receiving is the foundation of silent abundance. Consider the silent tree, which drops its seeds onto the earth. The tree does not keep its seeds for itself. It lets them fall, knowing that they will grow into new trees, which will, in turn, drop more seeds. The cycle of life continues, endlessly, without end. The tree gives without expectation, and in doing so, it ensures the continuation of its legacy. In the same way, you must give freely, knowing that your gifts will return to you in unexpected ways. Your legacy is not in the things you accumulate, but in the love, energy, and wisdom you give to others. The final step in creating the legacy of silent abundance is to recognize that your actions today create the world of tomorrow. Your life is a series of moments, each one building upon the last. The energy you cultivate today will ripple through time, affecting the future in ways you cannot yet see. When you align with silent abundance, you are not only shaping your own life, but shaping the lives of others, both now and in the future. Your legacy is the sum of all the moments you live in alignment with the flow of abundance. Consider the silent painter, who spends hours crafting a masterpiece. The painter does not worry about the outcome, nor does she strive for recognition. She paints because it is her calling, her gift to the world. Each brushstroke contributes to the masterpiece, and though it may take time, the painting eventually takes shape. When the work is finished, it is shared with the world, and its legacy continues long after the painter is gone. The painting becomes a symbol of her connection to silent abundance, and its energy continues to touch those who encounter it. In the same way, your life is a work of art, created by the moments you live in alignment with the flow of the universe. Your legacy is not in what you accomplish, but in the energy you leave behind. To create the legacy of silent abundance, you must live each day with intention, with gratitude, and with the understanding that everything you do has an impact. When you align with the flow of abundance, you not only create a prosperous life for yourself, but you also create a legacy that extends far beyond your own experience. Your actions, your energy, and your consciousness touch the lives of those around you, and they ripple out into the world, creating a legacy that continues long after you are gone. In this moment, reflect on the legacy you wish to leave behind. What energy do you want to send into the world? What impact do you wish to have on the lives of others? When you align with silent abundance, you align with the greater flow of life, and in doing so, you create a legacy that will endure, a legacy that will continue to touch the lives of others for generations to come. Trust in the process, and know that your legacy is already taking shape, moment by moment, through your alignment with the eternal flow of prosperity.